Good morning, I am Kevin Price, and I am delighted to be with you. I'm going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. I'm doing a series of interviews on this whole topic of mid-market companies that are nimble. And for the listener who's not familiar, mid-market companies are typically $50 million a year in revenue or more. That's on the low end, and they can be in the much more, and so they're not small by any stretch of the imagination. They fit nicely between the enterprise-sized companies and the small businesses, and so it's interesting to find companies that can boast also being nimble with that kind of size. And Eric Dochtermann represents such a company called Modco Media out of New York. And Eric, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Tell us a little bit about Modco Media.
Well, we are a full-service advertising agency that handles brand creation through to implementation. So we handle all communications and media planning and buying.
Very good. And tell me the type of businesses you typically work with.
We specialize in retail, fashion, as well as electronics. We do a tremendous amount of video games and emerging electronic, like Bluetooth speakers, for example.
Very good. So that's interesting. That's a pretty eclectic type of clientele.
It is, but it's compelling because it's always new. There's new seasons. There's new updates to products, so it keeps us on our feet. It requires us to be nimble with that, but it also pushes us into trying to find new ways to attract these customers.
Yeah, okay. So tell me a little bit about the size of your company in terms of employees.
Well, we have, at this point, 59 people, and we do about $70 million in billings a year.
Okay, that's pretty significant, and certainly well in that mid-market category. Tell me about how you maintain being nimble, because that's a lot of people. Frankly, my company has fewer than 10 employees, and we have a hard time staying nimble at times. So tell us about that.
Well, the biggest issue has been to create a culture of constant discovery. Where, unfortunately, being involved with internet marketing, it's changing all the time. So we have to have daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly deliverables for our clients that we are the people on the prow of the ship taking a look at what's new, because none of our clients would have the time or resources to dedicate towards that task. So I just literally came out of an hour and a half of meetings where we're talking about the newest trends for January and how we can best communicate them to our clients, but more specifically, how our clients can take advantage of these new trends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what would you say are some of the things that you do systemically to help make sure you maintain nimbleness?
We have an open environment, so we don't allow anyone to sit in an office and hoard information, hoard any kind of client contacts or of specific discipline. By everyone sitting together, people overhear all the conversations, and we're cross-training across different people. Therefore, if anyone leaves, we do not have any kind of lag. We can immediately fill that hole. It's like removing a fist from a bucket of water. We have other people that can flow into that space very quickly and provide a complete continuity of service.
Okay. So when I think of nimbleness, I think about the ability to kind of make changes, even changes in the direction of the company with a certain amount of ease. And obviously you don't want to do that dramatically because no company can survive that. What kind of things do you do in order to maintain a certain ability to move, and move like not necessarily like a speedboat, but certainly not like a freight ship either?
Well, it's certainly not like pivoting the Titanic here. We actually have a lot of different divisions who come to me with constantly new ideas for new business operations. We're actually radically changing our business now to focus more towards SEO, search engine optimization. We have some new media products we're doing, and we also create our own brands in-house. So we're always looking for new things, and creating our own brands gives us a real first-person perspective to see how our skills can help bring a new product to market.
And when you say you're creating new brands in-house, elaborate a little bit about those type of brands.
We have a fashion accessory brand that does scarves, handbags, and shoes. We have another one that does apparel for action sports. We've had a tea company over the years. We've started our own watch firm. And these enable us to have unique perspectives into these individual industries as long as we continue working with other retailers and fashion clients.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So, by the way, what website do you want people to reach out to you to get more information about?
You can find us at modcogroup.com.
How was 2014 for you?
It was an incredible year, and we have high expectations for 2015.
How old is your company, by the way? I'm not sure we even covered that.
Oh, I started it 25 years ago.
25 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you've had to do. Obviously a lot of changes, particularly in the way technology plays a role. Tell me what you've done to stay relevant.
Well, it's always adding new services on board. We kind of rely on all of the service companies that provide us with ad tech to constantly come in, and we do specific media days by category that help educate us and enable us to in turn educate our clients. So it's a continual open forum. Plus, we also have a special Friday gatherings, a kind of TGIF types of events that are sponsored by vendors to give them more time to tell us what they're seeing in the marketplace as we enjoy pizza and beer.
Yeah, that's good. And, the more beer you have, the more you enjoy it. So it's funny how that
exactly.
how that all works out. You talked a little bit about the verticals that you work with. What are the size of most of those companies, or do they range pretty wildly?
They range, but typically we work with $100 million to $1.5 billion companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of companies like yours, and then those even larger.
We prefer to go work with companies that are closer to the $500 million mark because they possess enough of a budget to really take advantage of our services.
Right. And they also have the ability to stay in it longer, too, don't they?
Correct, yeah.
The smaller they are, the more immediate the return needs to be, or they get nervous. That's just typical the way businesses work. And so you make your low-end mid-market.
Right. Well, I think they also have enough money to test and take advantage of some of the new trends that we spot.
Yeah, I think that's great. Tell us again the best website for people to get more information.
We're at modcogroup.com, MODCO group.com.
Eric Dochtermann, he's been our guest. Enjoyed it very much so. And I do want to encourage people to learn more about his company and make sure you check that out. And thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, though, that the best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. And you're listening to The Price of Business.